Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, and I just got done with the cutest presentation on video gaming law to some middle school students at legal law camp. Um, it was, I think, one of the coolest things that I've done so far. One, because I always like to play Jeopardy with children because I love Jeopardy. But Jeopardy is a live action experience on how you essentially allow yourself to create moments. I have to turn that thing because I keep talking to the other camera thing, and I need to stop doing that. So we're gonna work our way through not doing that anymore. So Jeopardy is, I think, a live action way that as a teacher, you get to hear the feedback because of how exciting it is in real time to the questions that you've added to your Jeopardy form. I just paid for this thing called Jeopardy Labs. It's something that my niece and I started doing when she was very young, just kind of answering questions because she's got that very similar recall ability that I like or I have. And so today, some of the kids were like, well, that was a harder question. That wasn't a 200 question. That should have been a 500 question. Some other kids are like, nobody knew that, so that shouldn't have been a thing. And so what I gathered from that was you'll always be learning in real time if you are listening, because these are just different comments in different segments of their groups that they're saying amongst each other, but loud enough for people to hear. And if you're not offended, but you are ready to be critiqued from the information that you're giving out, you'll hear how the user experience or the learner's experience could be better. And so video gaming law being a new area that I'm going into is really shaping the way that I see how I'm going to teach it, but also shapes the way that I know my students will receive it. So Jeopardy as a learning tool is going to be a must. I always thought it was going to be that for me, but now I know it is. One, because it's probably going to be the only way that I'll get law students to kind of really tell me the truth about how I'm distributing or sharing the material at a given time. And two, it gives this is a competitive edge that is already intrinsically inside of the grading scale, right? And also inside of what did you get on your essay, but also how are we learning the information now? How are we recalling the information in high stress moments? That kind of energy is what you need, not necessarily on an essay. Maybe for your rule statement, I do. I remember that kind of being like, when I can see an issue that I know a rule statement applies to, I immediately want to write it down. And it's kind of just like Jeopardy for me, like, oh my God, how fast can I get this answer out because I know that that's the right answer. But more on the multiples where the instinct needs to go directly connected to the stimulus. So whether it's a sentence or today I was pulling up trademarks that people would know, or what did EA stand for in EA Sports, like things like that, where sometimes you see a thing and it immediately pops up, and sometimes you hear a thing and you know how it goes. That is the kind of trained response that I need students to have for the information that they'll need for the bar, and just kind of for the information that they will need for their regular career. As you go into areas of expertise, you will tend to pull from new areas of law and new areas of like new folders, so to speak, of niche information as you go deeper into whatever your career path will be. And so I think that Jeopardy just lends to that. And so it was just a joy to have a class, share the information for the first time in layman's terms, even though it's still new to me, and then create a game with some kinks, some questions they thought were harder than others, some questions they thought they didn't know at all. Some questions I pulled from the internet. Some of the questions I knew offhand, some questions were from some games that I didn't quite know. So just knowing what can come of those questions that I don't know so well versus the ones that people think are easier, and then gauging how to weigh them is going to be a new skill for me. But that was fun. That was so fun. The questions they asked me around streaming was really important, because I see middle schoolers and high schoolers continuing to create brands around what they do on the internet. And so helping them get little tidbits of information about how to eventually get to a trademark, how to eventually get to a patent or a copyright in their young branding time is going to be so vital to the new world of influencers, producers, creators, young attorneys, and creative arts attorneys that I did my job. And I'm really excited to do that in a classroom setting, because I know that at the core of it, I understand what's being asked. I'm really being asked to give people the loss to protect whatever dreams that they desire to have in this world. And I'm happy to do it. So today was a really good 12. I've been trying to do things on the 12s since I was born on the 12th. And 12 is kind of the number of judgment, or like juries and things like that. So like their decisions are made in these numbers, and decisions that stick and cement. And so I've been trying to make decisions around my creative arts, around myself, around who I decide to be or become in my career on the 12s. And so this opportunity came up, and I felt like it was a big deal. And because I treated it as such, it has opened up a world of feelings for me, and also an opportunity to collaborate with other portions of the university that are not always seen but always felt. And so today was a great day, and I'm so excited to share with y'all. Yeah, so